Welcome everyone for the new episode of Be Invincible podcast, and this is the episode fifth. We have Kashish today. She's a parenting coach, and she is herself an expert parent. She has two kids, and she knows exactly what you need to do in order to have a great parenting environment around you. She is expert in understanding child psychology, and she will help us understand today how we can implement child and parent relationship and how you can build an environment around yourself which can help you build a strong relationship with your family. So welcome Kashish today. Why don't you introduce yourself today?
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for introducing me in such a beautiful way. I am Kashish. Basically, I am from Himachal Pradesh. I belongs to a very small town. Being a mother of two, I always believe that children mental and physical development both are equally important.
Right.
When I was small, I always wanted to get into like being a small town girl. I
Hmm.
always wanted to explore the bigger world. So I decided to come out of the this environment, which was not in my village. It is a very small town from where I belongs to.
Okay.
After my engineering, I shifted to city, and I decided to do some courses related to CCNA, CCNP because my background was in computer engineering.
Uh-huh.
We are three sisters and one brother. All sisters are married, and brother is yet to be like. My parents are government retired employee, so
Uh-huh.
we belongs to a very humble family, education background.
Yeah.
Even though I am a daughter of a teacher, education background person, but I don't know how to educate children.
Okay.
So after marriage, when after my education, I decided to work, and when I came to Chandigarh, I was not having anything.
Okay.
I did my self-funded education altogether, like MBA in HR self-funded, then CCNA self-funded, and we never took any single penny from our parents after that. So I
Okay.
am very much self-dependent girl.
Yeah.
After my education, I started working, and I worked in MNC, which is for I work for UK, I work for US, which is
Hmm.
EXL services. There was some processes we had to work, and then after finishing my MBA in HR, I was into recruitment.
Hmm.
Side by side, I thought of like doing job, managing work and life, work and family balance. It is very important to get a job into like where I can handle my family in a proper way
Right.
and my job as well. So one of my friend was working as an HR, so I thought of okay, get into HR because it is easy job and I can manage my family balance also because sooner or later we will get married.
Right.
After marriage, I shifted to with my husband to Costa Rica. It is in
Hmm.
Central America, so I had to leave my job.
Hmm.
From then, I did not do any job, but being a working woman, I cannot sit at home.
Right.
So, one or the other thing I used to do. Like, I was into business, I did my clothing business, I was having a company. I used to sell the things. It was a clothing thing, so I used to sell in Amazon also.
Hmm.
I tried many business in between that.
Right.
So after becoming a mother of my elder son, and then I thought of okay, how I can handle him in a positive way because I don't know how to tackle a children, how to take care of child mental and physical health, how I can give good things at the right time and right point of time. Then I came across IMTC Montessori course.
Hmm.
Montessori is a method where you can educate a children in a. It is introduced by Maria Montessori,
Hmm.
and where she will tell in her theory, she tells how to handle children in a positive way
Right.
and with the practical way, not with the like theoretical way what we do in a traditional schooling,
Hmm.
but they told us how to handle children with playing, like children are playing and learning things also. So it
Right.
was quite intense course for 1 year.
Hmm.
Though I did not work after that in a school, but I was a file corrector, and so many correction things I used to do for the new trainee people.
Hmm.
But I implemented that on my elder son.
Okay.
When I was free at home, I thought of what to do. Then I thought of, okay, I am very good in psychology, because whatever I do, I say people work on that. It improved their life, because one girl was here, she was into depression.
Hmm.
So in 1 month, I gave her therapies. I told her how to handle your mental thing, depression things, what you can do in your career and all. Then I
Right.
thought, why don't I get into this profession? How I can tell my experience to people,
Right.
and I can help other also.
Hmm.
Now, because several method I have learned how to help children to learn. For example, when small children, it is very difficult for us how to make them writing, how to make
Yeah.
them reading in a positive way. If you are talking about a traditional schooling, what they do, they will say ABCD sikho, and then they will not work on phonics and all. These
Right.
days they are following Montessori. I saw
Right.
some of the traditional school, but earlier, or I think if you can say 3 4 year back, they were not doing that, but now they have to follow, because all these coaches came, and then online education came, and you can say digital education came,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they have to cope up with this. So now they are doing. So I implemented those on my children, at least for my elder child,
Hmm.
and it worked. So I am helping children as a parenting coach, and sometimes when parents are facing some problem कि बच्चा खाना नहीं खाता है, या बच्चे को certain issues हैं, they are not listening to us, या बच्चा homework they are not doing on time, and writing अच्छा नहीं है, and how I can help my child in reading.
Right.
Like for example, some children are reading like cat cat ऐसे करके, and some children are immediately they will read cat bat rat and all phonics things.
Hmm.
So I always help them how to program it, how you can improve the reading, and how much time it will take, what type of books you can use, and what type of things you have to do. This is what I do. And then I started making my YouTube videos, my Instagram things, and this is how I am helping other children and parents.
That's really amazing, Kashi, that you are actually adding value to people who are struggling. I would say struggling because I know I've been a parent. Before we had our child, my daughter, the psychological impact, like how you're gonna manage, how it's gonna come out to be, how we will manage our time, office, kids, upbringing, giving time to kids. There are a lot of psychological impact which happens before you become a parent. But as soon as you become a parent, the complete shift happens because you are actually into a practical situation of handling a kid. And it's okay because the kid, until the kid is a year and a half, you can still say it's still fine, right? But once the kid starts walking, starts talking, starts eating external food, it becomes more tougher, right? What is your thought process? Like, how could parents build their mindset right before they know that, there's someone coming in their life, and to the age where they see their kids started running? Because when kids starts running and, playing around in the house, there are a lot of things which we need to take care of. Like, they should not get hurt. They should be safe. We had implemented so many child safety devices in our house. What do you think about it? Like, how should parent build their mindset before they get into actual parenting?
Yeah, this is very interesting question. Before getting into parenting, parent has to think that are we capable of doing all the nourishment for the child? Are we capable? Are we mentally prepared? If we are
Mhm.
mentally prepared, then we should go ahead and uh, go for a baby. Sometimes parents has a thinking that we are the parents.
Mhm.
We have to teach children.
Right.
We have to tell everything to the child. But this is a wrong thinking as per me.
Mhm.
You can say parent. your child is the founder of the family. When husband and wife is there, no. So if somebody is inviting you, they will say husband wife dono आना, ठीक है.
See, right,
But when you have a child, they will ask, come along with your family. Your child is giving you a title to be a member, means he is a member of a family.
right, right.
And when he came or she came, then only you are called as a family.
Makes sense.
Before that, you were husband and wife.
Makes sense.
So your child, you have to learn from him or her. And
Right,
secondly, it is not 1 or 2 year. You have not to wait for a child to be 1 or 2 year to make him understand or to teach him or help him something. We don't use teach word, we use help him, because we are helping. We
right,
are there to help him. When you thought of like making a child, from that time only the child is learning things.
right.
Because if it is in the womb of a lady, a woman, then also he is learning something.
Okay,
Sometimes people say 7 month ka baby hai, and it survived. But what is the difference between 7 month baby who born on 7 month and who is 10 month, means 9 month after mature baby? The difference is that in 7 months the full baby is there. It can come out and you can have a baby, proper baby.
right.
But the connection of your psychologically connection, the body which react, like your hand body coordination, your eye coordination, everything happens 7 to 10 months.
Okay.
The 3 months which is happening as per psychology, what I have learned,
Mm-hmm.
that is happen in these 3 months. You can see the difference. 7 month baby and 10 month baby has difference in psychologically also.
Okay.
They have different mindset. And taking care of children is like we should be very very particular that what we do, what we want in our child, we have to do that. For example, I want my child health should be good, which is very important these days because children are not eating properly.
Right,
So healthy, giving them healthy food is really really difficult.
right.
So start eating healthy food yourself. If
Correct.
you want your children physical health should be good, start doing exercise. For example, I'm doing yoga these days. My younger one is copying me properly. They
Very nice.
imitate you as it is.
Right.
If you are doing whatever you do, they imitate you.
Makes
That's why parents are the one who can help their children. And these days, sometimes some parents are parenting style is also very different. Some parents thinks we have sent our children to school. It is their responsibility to make them a good human being, to teach them everything. But as for me, I think it is a parent teacher association.
right.
If you are not taking care of your child at home, believe me, your child will not learn.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, you are the one who is responsible to make your child. Teacher is there. That is institutions, definitely. And secondly, some parents thinks that नहीं अभी तो बहुत छोटा है. Now what to tell him, or he will not learn. इसको ये मत करो वो मत करो. Don't think your child is small. The, before 6 year of age, whatever they will learn, whatever coordination, understanding, thinking, his body style will be there. It will be lifetime. For example, I have a stage fear. It
Mm-hmm.
will always be there. I can pretend in front of somebody that I am very much confident near the stage.
Right,
But if in my young age, early age, it is the confidence is not there, it will not come. So
right.
these are the things which you have to teach your help your child. Even if you're sending your child to preschool also, don't force them कि मेरा बच्चा खा के टिफिन फुल करके आना चाहिए. आई हैव सीन पेरेंट्स आते टिफिन फुल नहीं किया, इसको
Mm-hmm.
एबीसीडी नहीं आता, इसको ये नहीं आता. आई ऑलवेज से डोंट ask my child to eat. If he is interested, he will eat.
Hmm.
कोई भूखा है, definitely they will eat, no?
Right, right.
If your child is not learning academically, he will learn. But the social skill, the physical and mental and emotional skill which they will get initial age, it will never come later.
Right.
Yeah, and one more myth is there when some child is not eating food, no. So people says that इसको screen time कम कर दो, I am definitely, we should not have a big screen time, matlab so much screen time for the children.
Right.
But if your child physical health is not good at the right time, at the right age, believe me, mental health you can get later also.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things where we can give some counseling and all, you can improve that. But physical health, if your child growth is not there, it will not come after certain age.
Mm.
8 to 12 is, for example, his food habit is not good, his mental his playing physical activity is not good, so his height will not grow, he'll become smaller. And if you are smaller in height, or if you are not up to the point of your social things, sometime you need to, if you are intelligent enough, you will make your place, but it will give you a lots of like hard work you have to do. But
Right.
if you're confident enough, you have personality, you have everything, your health is good, your mental physical growth is good, you will achieve, definitely you will achieve.
Right.
And secondly, which what impact the child most is environment.
Mm-hmm.
Your house environment should be very very good. If your house environment is not good, whatever gadget, whatever thing you give to your child, he will not improve.
So can you give
Whatever.
an example? Can you give an example of an environment, like what kind of environment you recommend to build around a child?
Okay. If it depends upon what you want to improve in your child. For example, your child is not doing homework or doing study.
Mm-hmm.
For example, reading, I am giving example. Your child is not reading. Why don't you start reading? I helped my child, give a time slot, for example, 3 months. When I started helping my child, elder one reading, then I put a particular target, like 3 months target.
Mm-hmm.
3 months, he will start working on like sight word. For example, before reading, you need some practice.
Right.
So I asked him to write down sight word, what, when, how, where, everything which is related to the reading. When we read, no, certain word are coming repetitively.
Right.
If we are asking our child to write those words, 3 months I asked him to practice on that, and then I purchased book from 1 to 5 level.
Mm-hmm.
He was reading first level and second level. I used to read.
Mm-hmm.
One book he will read before sleeping, one book I will read. So when he comes to the second level, he know what mama has matlab,
Correct.
taught me.
Correct.
So he is having certain thing in mind, and then it was easy for him to reading because he know the sight word is RM. Just say for example, if we are writing wrong spelling, then also you will read. Na, agar Kashish, for example, Invincible, you have written some different spelling, I can
Right.
read it
Correct.
because it's in my mind that this is the word should be. This type of attitude will come in the child
Right.
because 5 year of age, my child used to read big big books. It
Mm-hmm.
was there.
Right.
So 3 months time you give to your child. First work on the sight word, then work on small small books with small. There should be less picture, less word and more pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly grow level 1, level 2, level 3. But every day, whatever amount your child is reading, you have to read because he should not feel कि मेरे को ही they are not, they are forcing me to do.
Right.
Lead by example basically.
Right.
So
Right.
in writing also you give 3 months time. You have to give the time slot to improve whatever you do. Anything he is lacking, you do it, he will do, he will copy you.
Right. Because I've seen many kids who are struggling, like 4 years or 5 years of age, but still they are struggling to read or write. Right.
Yes,
So, and in the sense, they are going to school, they are coming back to school from school, and when they're doing their homework, they still need a lot of help. I understand they will need help, but I can see differences in different kids, right? One could be 5 year old, can read the entire book, but the other 4.5 year old kid might not be able to read through it. For example, the other example is, if I ask of this 5 year old kid, how are you doing? The response is good. But the other 4.5, 5 year old kid, if I ask, how are you doing? There is no response. So it's a very evident difference between these two kids. What is your thought according to why this differences happen?
Regarding the response, it depends upon the child attitude also.
Mm-hmm.
Some children are introvert because they want to say what they want to say.
Right.
If it is related to the academic skill, like it's definitely you have to work. But if it is normal, if they don't want to answer, let it be. No, they
Okay.
will do what whenever they want to do.
Right.
Secondly, if you are saying that some children can read properly, some children can't read properly, as for me it is parenting style. Because some parents, I have seen the parent attitude, uh, this is the responsibility of the school. For example, your child is lacking something. It is first your responsibility. No matter how much money you are giving to school, no
Right.
matter what you are giving to anything, because with money you cannot buy education, with money you cannot buy the attitude.
Right.
Can, if you're saying school को इतना पैसा दिया है, they have to teach, but what if teacher is not capable enough to teach that particular thing, and you are capable enough, why don't you talk to your child? As per me, working on such children who are not able to do homework or who are not able to understand things, first of all, when your child come home, you should speak to your child at least for half an hour or 45 minutes.
Right.
What has happened in the school, what your teachers said, what your friends are saying, what was the homework. And before sending them for playing or anything, and multiple classes you are putting, you should not put your child more than one class in a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
After school they can go for one class, that should also be fun class, like badminton ho gaya, football ho gaya, activity class.
Yeah.
Because these days parents are putting pressure, grade acha aana chahiye, grade acha aana chahiye, in every subject you should have a very good things. I don't think so it should be like there.
Right.
You should focus on particular things like maths, English and science. If your child is doing great, be happy,
Right.
focus on those things. And homework, you should be very particular. Why child?
Mm.
Initial 5 year you do that, later you need not to ask him.
Right.
Initial 2 year I did for my elder son. Now he's doing all his homework other than Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi is little tough for him
Right. Right.
because his first language was English.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi is little difficult for him, but Kannada and other language I need not to help him even in comprehension also. I
Mm-hmm.
am not praising my child, but I helped him in that way.
Correct.
If you want your child to do homework independently, they will not do initially. You have to make a habit. You have to sit. Child should not feel like parents are enjoying, they are watching TV, they are eating something, or we are doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that you are enjoying. Mama, why are you doing this? I am doing this. You are watching, I should also watch.
Right.
So you have to be compromised yourself also. ऐसा नहीं है you are doing Instagram and your child is studying. When your child is studying, take a book and read. You show
Right.
that you are also doing what your child is doing.
That's a
At
really good example. Yeah. That's really good suggestion.
at least initial 5 year, when it become habit, when they have their own room, you can do Instagram or something. Even if dining table rule, if I am saying,
Mm-hmm.
many time I always say, when we are sitting at the dining table, let's discuss what has happened in the day. Husband ke office mein kya hua, what I did the whole day, what you did whole day, what happened in your school. Discuss and eat.
Right.
And secondly, there is a myth in the parents also. As per me, it, I always believe physical health is very very important. Initial 10 year at least. So
Okay.
if your child is not eating, give him something. If even if they want a screen time, give them little bit. And as soon as they finish the dinner or lunch, immediately take it like a cruel mother. I do that because my younger son, he was very difficult. I couldn't feed him, and it was very difficult. His health was like, doctor was saying, give him food, why are you giving juice and milk only? Then I decided, okay, take phone and eat food. He was eating food and immediately I am snatching the things. Okay, now it's okay. He will cry for 5 seconds and he'll leave. And passing time with them, bring toys, play with your children at least half an hour, 45 minutes sometime, and then you can enjoy.
Right. I think for us, I mean, what we follow as a dining rule is we don't use any devices while we eat food, right? So what we do is we play games. For example, my wife becomes a quiz master, and one bite, and then she asks a question, and then once you finish the bite, you have to answer. So we do a turn by turn game like that, and it becomes a gamification effort where we completely move away from the digital world, and we only focus on what you're eating, how you
Yes.
build a bond while you eat, right? And then that's how the habit is. Like my daughter is 5.5 years, 5 years old now, and she has that habit of, okay, I will be the quiz master, mama will be the quiz master, and then we play rhyming games, like one word and you say rhyming words 3 times, because we are three, so we all of us say one rhyming word, right? So that's how she builds her vocabulary. That's how we build a bond, and that's how we keep away devices while we eat food, because I am extremely away from these like screen time while eating, at least, right? So we also don't watch TV, she also doesn't watch any screen time. So I think this is one thing which I would like to add.
Yeah, that is really, really very impressive. For elder one, I am doing that. For
Okay.
younger one, because his health was impacting, I am telling, if somebody is facing that type of problem, because
Right,
some children are really, really difficult. So
right.
my and younger one is really difficult. If
Hmm.
I'm not giving, he will not eat. So for him only I'm giving, but for my elder one, when we sit on table, my younger one will not sit on the table also. He is 3.5 year old,
Okay.
so he will not sit even. But the elder one, we sit, we talk, we discuss things, and he is very sensible.
Hmm.
So I also believe that there should not be any phone, there should not be digital things on the table when we
Hmm.
talk.
Right.
So when we eat.
I
So
think,
that is really, really
yeah,
impressive
I
for
think
you.
what happens is, uh, I've seen that a lot of my friends, when we go out for lunch or dinner, as soon as the food is there, they give the phone, and the kid is only looking at the phone and does not make connection with the food. What are they eating? Are they overeating? They don't know when to say no, right? So these are the things which I feel happens when the kid is only stuck to a screen while eating food, right? So I think this is one of the most important factor. I felt that we should keep away devices while eating food. And I think that has impacted in a positive way in the family, because the bond is stronger. And as soon as she's on the dining table, now what happens? We are encouraging her to eat on her own, right? So I do just I break the chapati and keep it for her. Everything is ready. But when she is eating on her own, she takes an hour to eat, because she'll eat one bite, she'll go run there, she'll come back, and she'll ride a car, and then she'll come back and eat another bite. That is still okay, because I feel that she is doing on her own. She's taking the responsibility on finishing that food, right? But I think there are a lot of people who are just saying, okay, ye phone le lo, and I will feed you, and they keep on feeding the food to the kid, which kid doesn't realize when to stop, when to say no, and the parent says, "हाँ मेरा बच्चा अच्छा खा रहा है," which is good, right? So I think, what is your thought process on this?
Uh, that is definitely wrong, because one of my friend told me that my child is taking phone, and he is eating, and after that he is doing vomiting.
Oh.
So if your child is really difficult, like my younger one, you
Hmm.
can give phone, I think, little bit
Hmm.
till the time he is eating, but you should know how much you have to feed your child.
Right,
ऐसा नहीं है कि डालते रहे and the child will eat so much, because
right,
children don't know when to say no.
right, right,
My child is saying no, he will not eat, he will say no, but some children are like, they don't know when to say no.
right.
So definitely we should not give phone when children are eating. If your child is that much cooperative,
Hmm.
it's okay, don't give phone. But if really it is impacting on their health, then I always believe that, rather than thinking that oh phone nahi dena hai, bhale hi hungry rehne do, so it will impact on his physical health, and later, no matter his mental health how it is, but
Hmm.
you cannot make your physical health again.
Right,
It is really difficult. You need to be really, really into a different program to get into that health. But if it is related to your health, your puberty, or some kind of things, it will not come.
right. Do you
So
record? Sorry, go ahead.
it is good not to give the phone, but if it is really critical, you just give, take the phone. you being a parent, you should know how much you have to give. ऐसा नहीं है कि उल्टी कर दे तब तक, then till then you do that.
Right.
So he used to do vomit at that time. So
Yeah.
I
I think
told, don't feed, don't overfeed ऐसे करके.
right. I think that makes sense because uh, I've seen that happening. So I think when you say that your parents should know when to stop feeding, or maybe if they're helping the kid to eat, they know how much your kid should eat, or maybe if they're hungry, they can ask again. My next question to you, Kashish, is do you recommend parents to reach out to dietitian to understand what food pattern they should use, or traditionally, whatever we've been taught, like our parents taught us, what kids should eat, should we follow that? Or nowadays, with this so many different types of food coming in, right, lot of different options that are available there, do you recommend that at least once a parent should reach out to a dietitian or a nutritionist to understand what kind of food is good for the kid?
Okay. So, regarding the dietitian, if your child is malnutrition or your child is having some health issues, definitely we should go to dietitian.
Hmm.
And if you think that what we can do with your child, then definitely we should go to the dietitian. But more than mother, nobody know that what healthy food you can give.
Right.
If you are, your kitchen is healthy, if you know what healthy foods, you should keep on studying. Being a mother means being a head of the house, or being a mother, you should know what is good for your child, because these days you don't need to go physically to any of the doctor.
Right.
There are so many dietitian. I follow a dietitian who is online, one
Okay.
lady.
Hmm.
So I always read her, what she is doing in YouTube, what she does, and everything I am implementing. And anything you are giving to your child in her thali, you should see how much protein, vitamin, or something you are giving to the child. So whatever is required, if you are giving at home, no dietitian is required. Even these days, so much knowledge is there online.
Right.
But if your child is facing, like my elder son is, earlier he used to say, "मेरे को food नहीं खाना है, I'm not hungry." If hunger is not there or something is not there, you cannot put in his mouth
Right.
जबरदस्ती, no. So you should definitely go speak to the dietitian, and there should be some diet program. And sometime if your child is not listening to you, then there should be someone whom they will listen. Like sometime if I am telling to my child something, saying मेरी मैडम ने तो ऐसे बोला है, you don't know Hindi properly, but my ma'am no, tell me this thing, ऐसे करके. So sometimes children focus on the things what other are saying, what doctor is saying.
Right.
If you are feeling that your child is not listening to you, ask, uh, go and
Someone else.
ask someone else. And even if he is not listening to someone else, maybe he's listening to his friends. Sometimes, these days children are saying, my friend Nivan has said this thing. Then
Hmm.
I always say, he is elder to me or I am elder to him. Why are you listening to him? But no, no, mama, you don't know he said this thing. So if that child is there, ask that child, okay, tell Nipun this thing, you do this thing. So whatever trick you can do, you do.
Right.
Whether it is related to dietitian, whether it is some doctor, whether you can do it yourself, whether you can search internet, but give healthy food. Try to put in your kitchen healthy things. If
Hmm.
nothing is junk there, then definitely children will eat that. For
Right.
example, my child is 8 year old now, 8 to 12 or 13. If you are giving some calcium, vitamin D, and iron, these things are lacking in children, so
Right.
their bone health will not grow. And if their bone health will not grow, they will not grow properly, they will not become tall. So I told my child, I gave him an article, read this. This is how your bone health will grow. You want to give some example of some short guy, he did not do that, and this type of trick you can use.
Hmm.
So now he is drinking that protein shake and milk and all.
Right.
So earlier he say, no, no, no milk and all. This, there is pills and all. So many tantrum they will throw.
Hmm.
So you have to be tricky, I think.
Right.
You know better your child, because child, there are different kind of child, no.
Right.
We have complications. Your child is like, your girl is eating yours herself, and my child is not eating. So there are different
Different.
challenges of
Correct.
parents.
Right. But I think when you gamify everything for them, it helps because then they always want to win, right? And if you let them win, they will love to participate the next time as well. That's what I feel, right? So that's what we do every time, whenever we play games as well. I make sure that she wins always because she gets a little happy that next time, whenever I say, let's play this game, she's more than happy to play because she knows that she always wins, right? So that's how we play. I mean, you're right that you have to be tricky, but you also have to be, sensible enough that what games you play, where you should play what games, right? So I think more spending time on devices, what we recommend is we help them. We help her creating some drawings, paintings, and we store their paintings in a frame. So every day or every week we flip the paintings so that she realizes, oh, I painted this that day. Oh, this painting is that way. So she feels good that someone is respecting that art or whatever creative thing she has done, and then we put that in our dining chair. Near to our dining table there's a shelf where we put that frame where every time we flip that, her drawing and creative, so every time anyone is at home, she'll tell, this is the drawing I created, this is the painting I made. So that makes her feel proud, right? So these are the little bit things which we do as a parent. But I think, yeah, you are an expert. What do you think about this? How should we implement certain things that kids are always interested in doing things?
Interesting questions. Like gaming thing you are telling, this is really interesting. We should always help children in a playful way.
Hmm.
But always winning, that is the problem coming in the children, and in this will be a problem in later age.
Absolutely.
You know, children don't have a habit of saying no, listening no. They don't have these days. Single children are there, so parents pamper them so much
Right.
that, for example, my sister is having only one girl, so she is pampered like a queen.
Hmm.
So one day she went to school and her teacher said, the first grade when she got admitted, and her teacher said, "तू ऐसा कर दे कुछ तो मतलब she said तू." She did not go to school. She is calling me too.
Oh.
So she did not go. 50,000 they spent there, and they had to change the school. So
Okay.
this is how these days failure, to show failure to the children is very very important.
Right.
Always winning things is not good, because
Right.
sometime you let them lose, let them be comfortable in that, because the world is really cruel.
Right.
They will be safe with us, but when they go to outer world, it is very difficult for them,
And
because people will not think the way we think about our children.
absolutely.
So a playful way is very good. You should be very much practical. For example, you want to help your children, uh, tell them, give them everything with material. For example, you want to learn, help them to learn the color. If they are not learning by seeing the book or something, and they are interested in some car or something. For example, one boy was interested in car, and we try to help him 5 months ki color, he should know the color, but he was not able to do. But then we realized he's very much interested into car. Then I brought a car of different color and asked him. Then he know, this is the car, this is the name of the car, this is blue, red, every color he know. They are absorbent mind. They
Right.
will absorb without discrimination.
Right.
Whatever you give them, they will absorb. That is why we should be very very active. We should be very very careful what we are doing.
Right.
Sometimes we say we are fighting, we are arguing, and we are thinking that ये क्या समझेगा बहुत छोटा है. No, they will understand that what our parents are doing,
Right.
why they are arguing and all.
Hmm.
Arguments are good. You should not avoid argument in front of children, but that should be positive. You should not downgrade others. They
Hmm.
should understand how to solve how to solve the problem and everything.
Right.
So do not pamper your child so much so that they cannot survive in outer world.
Hmm.
Because we can be like very polite, very good with them, but the other person, they want to put them down. Competition is very very high. It is different era.
Right.
We can call ourselves a sandwich parents, because earlier The parenting style was different. If they will get slap also, children will be okay. But
Right.
nowadays, you slap anyone, they will remember it for long.
Right.
So you cannot do anything. We are sandwich parent, because our in-laws, our parents will say, ऐसा नहीं करता था, हम तो ऐसा करते थे, ऐसे करके. There are certain things they will ask us to do, and
Yeah.
very difficult for this era parenting.
Absolutely.
Next era parenting will be different. They will be single parent mostly. They will not get married. These days, it is really difficult. Next era will be really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So I always suggest parent, do not pamper your child so much. If they are getting failure, let them. matlab, They will not get into depression, anxiety if they get failure in their real life also.
Right.
If somebody will bully them, they will not feel bad if they are strong enough. If they are like, nobody will say no to me, nobody will. I will always win. So they have that mindset. They will have that mindset. So we should always think, if they are losing, see, this was a mistake you lost. Next time, you please take care of this thing.
Hmm.
So I think this we should do, because bullying is very, very common nowadays in the
Right.
school.
Right.
And nobody will spare children outside world. So that's why suicidal cases, different cases are coming these days, because they are not coping up after the home, like when they go to hostel or some higher education, they are not able to cope up with that,
Right.
because they don't have habit of listening no.
Right.
So say no to your children. If it is not possible, so for example, toys का बात करें तो, if single child is there, they have so much toy,
Yeah.
full house.
Yeah.
So I don't think so it is required. Give some work, like if my child want pocket money also, I ask him, okay, ये mirror गंदा हो रखा है, you just clean this mirror, I'll give you 20 rupees for each work.
Okay.
You tell them how to earn money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying in this way they will become a servant, but exercise of practical life is very, very important.
Right.
It will reduce your work also, your burden also. If they are keeping their wardrobe clean, if they are keeping their shoes nicely, if they are keeping their books nicely, if they are doing their homework nicely or keeping things clean, it will reduce your work, your house will be clean or everything.
Right.
And they will become independent later.
Right.
So
I think, yeah, very important factor. But do you think that we should start implementing these things right from the start, when kids understand what is what, or there is an age where people should focus on building the attitude and personality, and there's a certain age where people should think about health in terms of physical and mental? What is your thought process, like when should we focus on what factor?
So these things, what exercise or practical life things, you should start it from the beginning, like not from less than 2 years, but definitely never think the child is not understanding anything. Child will understand whatever you will do, or whatever is happening surrounding the environment.
Hmm.
For mental and physical health, as per me, what my understanding says, physical health initially is very, very important, because if you are not physically fit, mentally you cannot be fit.
Hmm.
So, for eating habit, healthy food habit, you can put in a child in the beginning.
Right.
Later, their taste will develop, they will not listen to you.
Mm.
Even if you are saying that don't eat this or don't do this, they will do it without you.
Right.
And mental, you should focus till 6 year completely on your child,
Hmm.
because till 6 year, whatever habit they will develop, it will be lifetime. If you remember anything, sometime we remember, oh, this is what we used to do earlier when we were very small. Now we don't know till 6 year what we are doing,
Right.
but in subconscious mind it will be stored. And for the physical health, which is the development, if you say like bone health, or height, or any body building things, 8 to 12 year you have to focus.
Okay.
You have to focus definitely. But if you are not developing his good eating habit before that, you cannot focus at that time also, because children will not listen.
Right.
They will not eat, it will be difficult for you. So from the right beginning, if you are doing all these exercises, physical, mentally strong, emotionally strong, emotionally you will not inculcate directly to him, you have to give indirect presentations, like what you want to inculcate in your child, do it indirectly. If you want yoga should be inculcated in your child for his healthy body, you just do it in the morning,
Okay.
they will follow you. If you are sleeping till 9 o'clock, they will sleep till 9 o'clock. If you'll get up at 6 o'clock. If everyone is not sleeping in the house, they will also get up.
Makes
So,
sense.
what you want to inculcate in your child, as per me, you do yourself. And physical and mental health is very, very important. Mental health, I'll give second priority, then physical. Because if your physical health is good, your mental health is automatically good.
Okay. So, any recommendation for parents to start implementing things and or maybe understand their kids better? How do we understand our kids better? Like, what are the signs and symptoms to know when to behave like what? Like, I hope you understand my question, because it's basically very important to understand what kind of behavior a kid is showing off and what kind of expectations I am getting it from the kid, right? For example, if the kid wants to play and I say, no, study, right? Uh, so there's something which is the kid is expecting, but I am not giving it to them. So how do we understand what kind of behavior or what kind of pattern we should look and respond, right? So what do you recommend?
First of all, regarding like if child want to play and we want him to do homework, this will never happen.
Hmm.
We always have to give him two options. When we want something from a child, I think we should give them two options. When we are giving two options, one he has to choose. So
Right.
for example, you want your child to do homework and he want to play, so you can say, okay, so you want to go for football, how much time you want, after 1 hour you want to do homework, or you want to do homework prior to going to football. So you have given two options to him, so he has to choose. Either
Right.
he'll say after coming back I'll do homework, or either he will say okay, I'll do my homework, then I will go.
Makes sense.
But you don't have third choice.
Hmm.
So be stick, be firm. You have to give. You don't say no. If you will say no, he will react.
Right.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Don't say no. Just give him two options. Okay. Being a parenting, there is a problem because we can't make balancing between our work, our house, and our children. So we should make that balance. For example, parents these days they are into like earning. No, both husband and wife has to earn money. If it is a requirement of the house, then go for it. But if it is not the requirement the house, at least initial 5 year give to your child. Being a mother can take care of a child in a very good way.
Hmm.
So the even a father cannot do that. But father is also equally important. He also have to take care of the child in a different way. For example, sometime a mother can't handle, so father has to come in between and say, nahi, this needs to be done in this way.
Right.
So for parents, I always give advice that whenever you are saying something to the child, you should be like on the same page, both of you. ऐसा नहीं है
Right.
मम्मी ने बोला फुटबॉल नहीं जा सकता, you have to do this, and father is saying no, no, playing is very important.
Right.
So you should be at the same page. Okay, your mother said you have to do this first, you have to do this first.
Hmm.
This, and secondly, give two options to your child. Don't say no to your child because they are not used to of listening to no. If you
Right.
will say no one or two times, they will listen to you. Later, they will say, "My mother always say no." For example, if your child want to play some video game, because everyone want to play video games,
Right.
you put a one day in a week. Say Saturday is the only day you have 1 hour you can play. So as we have made a rule that Saturday is the day you can play video game. You can bring your friends. You all 1 hour you can play video game. For
Right.
example, eating junk food, you cannot avoid. If
Right.
you will say no, they will go outside and eat. Say Saturday is the only day, Monday to Friday you eat healthy food. Saturday I will take you to the shop, you buy 50 rupees, 40 rupees, take a cap, no, you buy that. If you are always resisting कि नहीं ऐसा नहीं करना ऐसा नहीं करना, children will definitely do it. It's like a sand, if you keep in your hand it will come out any of the finger.
Hmm.
Children are also like that they, you should follow like concentration, consistency and commitment. These three things you should always remember. I always focus on these three C's: consistency in your things, what you are doing with your children, commitment and concentration. If your child concentration is very good, focus on that.
Hmm.
So, as per me, you should not say no to your child, give
Right.
them off.
Okay. I think, yeah, everyone has their own perspective, but you've been expert. I think it's a good recommendation that whenever your kid is asking for something, don't directly say no. Give them options, like Kashish said, because when you give options, you're in any which way is getting your work done, your thing which you wanted to do. But maybe an option of doing it right now, or maybe doing it something late, sometime later when they fulfill their own wish, right? So I think it's a good way of getting things done by kids. And I think this is very important for us to understand how to build an environment for a kid uh, that will help them grow physically. Like Kashish said, physical health is important, and your physical health is good, then your mental health automatically builds up with your physical health. And I would like to reiterate what we discussed so far is that whenever you want to make sure that your kid listens to you, make sure that you comfort them before you ask anything they want to do or you want to get it done. Build an environment around you because they imitate what you do. So if you want them to eat healthy, build a environment of eating healthy. If you want them to study and read, start reading yourself so that they can copy you and they can read with you. If you want them to do your homework, sit with them, start reading, and then ask them, okay, I'm also reading, why don't you do your homework, right? Physical activity is very important at the time of like 5 to 10 years of age. Let them play, let them mingle around it. And one of the most important thing which Kashish said, let them understand what is the impact of no. It's important for them to accept the fact that people can say no. You are a parent and you have to build that attitude in their mind of accepting the failure and going beyond that. And because once you are in an environment of house, you're still pampered. Once you go in the real world, you might have to experience a lot of failures. And if you build your child to experience that right from the childhood, I think you're building a right character within your child. Anything you want to say, Kashal, before we sign off?
It was really very nice session, and thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm really happy that I also came to know certain things from you. And thank you so much.
Right. So, Kashal, one more question before we leave. If someone wants to reach out to you, right, just for a consultation, just for understanding how to, build an environment, how to give a right approach towards the kids, how should people reach out to you?
As of now, I just have my Instagram and Facebook pages, but definitely I'll come out with some appointment things and all.
Right.
So right now I'm giving free consultation for a few initial few free consultations. I worked on relationship management also. Like sometime parents have some different relationship or parenting problems, single parenting, divorcing things and all. So it also impact on child how
Hmm.
it works. Means anything, any problems is there in the family, it will
Right.
impact on the child mental and physical development. So
Right.
these type of consultation I am providing.
Okay.
People are reaching out me through messages till now, but definitely I'll come up with some
Appointment
appointment.
system. Right. So, if someone wants to reach out to you on Instagram, what's your Instagram handle?
It is Kashish Sandhu 81.
Can you spell it out?
Yeah, Kashishsandhu 81.
Okay, so guys, Kashish Sandhu 81. If you want any kind of suggestions, recommendations, and consultation, I would recommend reach out to Kashish. She'll soon come out with an appointment facility where you can book her time and maybe get her expert opinion on how do you build a strong relationship, how do you build a strong parenting environment, and how do you build a strong family and a world around you. So I really want to thank Kashish for joining today and giving us her very, very precious time. I know she's busy with two kids. It's a weekend and she might have a lot of, plans, but I would really like to thank Kashish for joining us today. And anyone who wants to reach out to Kashish, please reach out to her on her Instagram. Thank you, Kashish, for joining today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Bye, Kashish. Take care.